Welcome, welcome, welcome. One Jamaica Bridge 99 FM. It's a minute after 10 o'clock here in Kingston, Jamaica, and I'm with you. It's a lovely Tuesday morning. And my word, imagine me leaving for one day, one little weekend and a day, and the amount of things that have been happening in Jamaica. The newscasts are overflowing, all kinds of activities. And of course, as usual, the politicians are sucking up the news waves and the airwaves and the airwaves. A lot of exciting things happening. Of course, it's the 28th of September. 2021, 2 days away from the end of the month, and the issues of whether or not vaccination should be mandatory. Still a hot topic on the lips of many Jamaicans. The PM is seeking advice from the Office of the Attorney General as to how that could be handled in the near future. So we see it creeping along, even while, of course, the government is still, in the middle of the ground there. And of course, that gentleman, the UIC gentleman who went on stage at March, we are on social media, so we has put up a GoFundMe looking money for legal fees. First I saw it, he said $20,000 US. Now it went up to $200,000 US. And the last I looked at it, he had only gotten $1,500 of that request. Not sure what's happening there. So there's a young man, Michael Reed, who called out in social media last week it was, Lord, the time fly fast, and he went viral, and it was a cry of deep frustration and hurt and a cry for help. So he didn't target anyone individually, he put it out there and people responded. You know that some people bad man in Michael Reed for the response we him get. For the fact that Professor Donna Hope, me, come and hear and sorry for Michael Reed and my like a bleeding heart, and that many people actually went and responded to Michael Reed. Them bad man, and them upset, because Michael Reed has gotten assistance. Michael, out there in the West, big up yourself. Continue to thrive and to strive and to work towards what you want in life, and to turn away from things that are harmful, that are negative, and that will drag you down into the pit of despair, and keep your focus. People, you cannot be bad-minding a young man who calls out for help and other people helping. And I'd like to say this very clearly, I'd like to use the word dryback, greyback old man. If there are any dryback, greyback old men out there who think that it is my responsibility to hold you up and pick you up and look after you, I have a son and I have a lot of family members who are important to me. And me upset bad enough, but me I try to hold it down and being nice, because many people see me as a lovely lady. But remember that a person like me who comes from the pit of the poverty working classes, drop out of high school at 15 with a baby, couldn't sit here as Professor Donna Hope, nice and decent, without having been able to deal with many heads, because I'm not afraid of eyes. You understand my thing? I am a very nice lady, and I'm very nice, and I'll be nice while I'm popping your head off and smiling all the way. I do not even blink. So I'm going to read my little devotional and play my bad super cat, which is why, why I love going tune in dancehall. They allow you to express energies that you would otherwise have to express elsewhere. Only need to make people can go party. It helps to reduce the energies. Many persons have the wrong idea of what constitutes true happiness. It is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Trust me on that, sunscreen. As I become more gentle with myself and other people, so I'm not poking holes in their eyes, literally, me at these things, I'm seeing others in a more gentle light. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can. And also, as I'm able to let go of my own selfishness and self-centeredness, I am becoming more and more compassionate to the needs of others. That doesn't mean I'm picking up old houses that are trying to tumble. I'm learning that I do have something to give and that I'm useful. As I grow in my ability to reach out, I am learning the joy of giving. And so these are words that mean something to me. Let me say to people, the grass is greener over Professor Hope's side of the fence, because when I sleep, she water it. When I bathe, she water it. When I dig out to unmiggle, she water it. When I'm out there flossing with a big bottom girl with pretty ear, she water it. That is why my grass is greener. And that is why I choose who I invite on my grass. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to play my super cat, Get a Red Heart. This song means a lot to me. Let's run with the rhythm track. Thank you so much. Welcome back, One Jamaica Bridge 99 FM. And of course, we want to welcome everyone joining us here on the Bridge 99 FM. Welcome, Bridge Nation, all our streamers on www.thebridge99fm.com. And our Zoomers coming in. Zoomers, I see you rolling in. And of course, we also have our guest who is about to speak with us about some of these political issues floating around, especially the VAS visa issue, and to touch a little bit on what the polls have said, are saying, because they are still very current, about, the affection and or disaffection of the populace with the leadership and opposition. So we have joining us Dickie Crawford, Richard Dickie Crawford, who is a political commentator and analyst, has been doing this for many years, a former colleague of mine at the University of the West Indies, Mona, and I think Dickie is also now working with the open campus of the University of the West Indies, has done a lot of work and will help us to talk to some of the issues. Remember that the VAS visa issue comes, of course, out of, and it's a very controversial issue, that revocation of Minister Daryl Vaz's visa in 2019. We didn't hear why it was revoked, or sorry, it was revoked, and it caused a lot of hue and cry. And then a new one-year visitor's visa being granted with a particular waiver and annotation stamped in it that suggested something to do with controlled substances and drug trafficking. Coming out of that, of course, we see where former Ambassador Tapia has come out and has made a lot of statements and allegations. And following on that, so it's a whole heap of excitement. Senator Bunting, who at that point was a minister of national security, having to come out and state, and I'm looking at the statement, during my tenure as Minister of National Security, all of my meetings with the representatives of the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica or the State Department were official engagements and concerned solely with issues of national security and the safety of the Jamaican public. None of these meetings were used to pursue other matters, and he's strongly encouraging both the Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to use their respective offices to engage directly with the U.S. Department of State on the issue. Of course, the kind of move by former Ambassador Tapia is something that is quite unprecedented, and the kind of ferment that is floating around, something that is very unprecedented, and in a lot of ways should concern both the party in government and in opposition, and of course the United States Department of State. So we have Dickie Crawford to join us. He's joining us by Zoom, so you see him in the Zoom. Let me open the Zoom mic. Hi, good morning, Dickie. Welcome to One Jamaica. Welcome to Bridge 99 FM, and you know who I am. I'm Donna Hope. How are you doing?
I think I know who you are. How are you?
I am very well, and it's good to see you. You're sounding chirpy and bright in the Zoom. Good to have you with us, Dickie. And I know that as someone who has been looking at the political landscape for quite some time, that you have some strong opinions and some information to share with the One Jamaica audience as we talk through some of these issues. So tell me, as a political analyst, as someone who has been watching the political landscape for some time, how would you describe the current political climate in Jamaica, even as we head towards local government elections that will be coming up anytime soon? How would you describe the political climate right now?
It's rotting away, actually. There's a lot of very serious issues that keep coming up, and they are multiplying themselves. When I see, for example, now that the JCF is terrorizing, so to speak, or spraying members of the media who have their cameras in their hands and their tape recorders to deny or prevent them from taping a news piece.
Yes.
I'm wondering what really is happening in JA. But definitely what has happened, and I noticed listening to an advertisement a while ago, I think from a promotion on your program a while ago about the COVID-19.
Yes.
Undeniably, COVID-19 has done a lot to twist around and reshape and unshape our political and social climate.
Yes.
But at the same time, why people, I think, are reluctant to go forward and get vaccinated is because essentially they have lost faith, they have lost confidence in the whole political system. Not just Jamaica,
yes,
we are linked to it, but in the international political system. And therefore, based on what reports come in, I mean, we sometimes we tend to try to discard it by saying, oh, these are persons who are not going to say anything but problematic things. But the truth is that it also is confirmed by two surveys that were recently done. One done by Nationwide by Cliff Hughes himself, and one done by Mr. Anderson. And when you look there, Donna, at the results,
Yes.
It's rather pathetic.
So let me come back to you, DK, because we want because a lot of persons are joining us, and I know they are joining us. I want to welcome and big up all my graduate students. We're talking until 8:30 last night. People, we have to end the class on time. I have to sleep. I have to big up my graduate students. Nicholas, Dwayne, Darian, Antoinette, Carmen, Charmaine. I don't want to forget anybody. Velonique and the whole crew. They say I must big them up, and they are listening on CLTR 6000. But a lot of people are joining us, and if you look in the Zoom, people are coming in and people are on the stream and listening to us on the FM band because they're also very interested in the polls, yes, but we have been talking about that for some time. But they're also interested in the VAS visa issue. So let's just touch on that before we get to the poll. They're very concerned because remember, Dickie, visas in Jamaica, especially a US visa to go to foreign, that is big foreign, is a crucial thing that Jamaicans are interested in. And to think that perhaps the terrain is not as egalitarian as the embassy and the United States Department of State has led us to believe is a challenge, and particularly when we are looking at it at the highest levels of political power in Jamaica. These are people who each up in the cabinet and these places, way up at the top. So people are concerned. So let's talk a little bit about the VAS visa issue with the revocation in 2019 and then the recent granting of a 1-year visa with that particular annotation that suggests a lot of things. That sparked a lot of controversy, and former Ambassador Donald Tapia coming out and making all of those statements, and I've been listening to him and all over the place. That has created a very explosive situation because he alleged that in his portfolio as security minister under the then PNP administration, now Senator Peter Bunting asked the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency to investigate Daryl Vaz, Minister Daryl Vaz now. And of course, former minister, now Senator Bunting, has released a statement. I have a copy of it in front of me, denying all of these accusations regarding his role as Minister of National Security involving the revocation of Daryl Vaz's visa. So there's a whole and he has suggested that the revocation of visas falls solely within the purview of the United States government. What kind of picture does it's just a very controversial statement, and people are concerned about the way the integrity of our leaders, the trust and care put in their hands, and the way that maybe the deployment of power at that level can be used to harm individuals, whoever they are. What are your thoughts, and how does this paint a picture regarding the trust in our leaders and the citizens might have? How do you see that coming forward? And welcoming all the Zoomers as they roll into the Zoom. Guys, I miss you. Yes. What do you think?
Well, what has come forward, I think, will continue to show what we started by saying.
Yes.
The people are going to lose more confidence in our political system and in our behavior. No, frankly speaking, I could never sit here and tell you I expected anything like this to unfold. This is unbelievable. This is better than Ripley's, believe it or not.
Unprecedented, Dickie. Let me tell you.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented. This is and one of the things that I had a conversation this morning, and one of the things we said, this is a part of the jousting for the eyes and the minds and the votes of the citizens of Jamaica. This is what it is. We are inside of social media and all the media houses and the forms that we use. This is how you're jockeying now for the eyes and the minds of the populace, and the X beside a symbol. This is high stakes political activity and strategy. This is what is happening here, And people's minds are being dragged in all kind of directions. And at the end of it, you're right, Dickie, people are losing trust in the political system as it exists, both political leadership and opposition that's what people are doing, The polls are telling us that.
Yeah, and when I'm looking at the rollout of the documentation, rollout of the information from Donald Tapia coming down to this morning,
mercy,
I'm saying to myself, well, one thing I would quip at immediately, maybe depending what really is behind all of this, because right now we don't know. And I agree it has to be thoroughly thrashed out. Maybe one thing is that Daryl Vaz could probably sue the United States government for millions and millions of dollars.
We do not
because
know.
This,
Remember, we waiting. Let me tell you, we're waiting to see what will happen, because Dickie, we're living in a society now, and we see what is happening with some of the trials, and we're now getting a chance to hear, and some people are able to see what goes on in these trials. Let me say this, this is a world where the word evidence-based becomes critical. So you have a video of Professor Donna Hope doing something and saying something. People can take my image. I've seen them do it and render it over an avatar doing and saying things, and take my voice and turn the words and put my voice in it. And me never did there. Like the trail of evidence and the evidence-based discussions that are coming forward in this digital world where people can manipulate images and words.
It's
and
very dangerous.
Dangerous world. So you're right. A lot more can come of this, but the political optics not look good. It is something that is concerning.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't look good. No. You can tell me you're an ambassador for a country like the United States of America. You have a huge embassy here in Jamaica. We have this long-time relationship between both countries. How on earth is Mr. Tapia going to convince us that he just heard it by hearsay, and hearsay allowed the American government to withdraw Vaz's passport? I mean, this is ridiculous. You don't do this. And then after now,
yes,
you withdraw his passport. You then turn around and say,
his visa.
Visa, yes. Yeah, he had a H1B, A1, B1, I can't remember. But certainly he had a temporary, a 1-year all-entry visa to the United States of America. Then after that, you're going to tell us, based upon this significant thing, which when you, maybe, and I and other people in Jamaica said, but Mr. Tapia, what kind of thing is this? How can you talk about you're taking away the passport or the visa of a minister of government in Jamaica, and you are telling us, shut up. This is our prerogative. It is our right in the United States of America. And we don't need to tell anybody anything. So why all the big rush all of a sudden now? For all of the recasting of this issue, all of the statements now, all of the problems here now. And then Mr. Tapia says this morning, that one of the mistakes that the American government made was that, it was political gossip.
Let me say this. You see, and I use the word former Ambassador Donald Tapia. I mean, and again, let me say, this is an unprecedented move in terms of the way that the diplomatic circles usually conduct business. This is an unprecedented move. Historically, I've never seen something like this happening here in Jamaica. Never. And the challenge with it, Dickie Crawford, is that we are waiting now, because we are waiting to hear statements from the current administration inside of the U.S. diplomatic circles that would have something to say. Because remember, we're talking about former Ambassador Tapia. What is former Ambassador Tapia doing now? I'm getting all kind of messages in my WhatsApp. People, nobody now go sue me right here, so still, but all kind of messages as to what's happening and what is not happening. Richie, trust me, I am not reading these, but a lot of suggestions are being made as to why former Ambassador Tapia is out there, making these comments, muddying the waters, and pulling. Remember, people, it's not just about GLP versus PNP. It's about looking at the way that an individual citizen, however highly or lowly placed, can be imaged and imagined and smeared in a particular way, and you're not sure what is happening there, and then we hear that is gossip. The United States Department of State and the U.S. Embassy has always assured us at every step of the way that they conduct investigations that are above board, and that whatever decisions they come to, whether or not they decide to inform us of the the actual works that they have done, whatever, but that it was something that was conducted, and that there is evidence for them to move forward in a part. It was never about gossip. So we are waiting to see what happens. But one of the questions as well that comes up about the political directorate right now, Dickie Crawford, is that people are calling on the Prime Minister Andrew Holness to talk about, to break some of the silence around members of his administration that have been accused of wrongdoing. Ruel Reid, the matters are still in court. A lot of these matters are still in court. And Andrew Wheatley, a lot of the persons who are still active, persons who are inactive. What implications would this have on the outcome of the upcoming local government elections, the way that people are asking? Because people on social media, they're calling out, they're asking. What kind of implications can this have for the local government elections?
Well, I think you have just rehearsed or repeated the first implication. The people are now calling and asking for clarity.
Yes.
The people are really basically asking, in my view, the government of Jamaica, the parliament, I'd like to use that word instead of the government, but the parliament of Jamaica to come out and open up and talk the truth to us, because we are fed up, we are sick and tired of this. And you mentioned a couple of names here and there. What kind of country we live in? I'm hearing that the other day that a gentleman who once worked at a prestigious Jamaican company, when his apartment was searched in Miami, he had millions and millions of dollars in cash.
US dollars.
I mean, US dollars, naturally. The thing is getting from bad to worse, Donna. I'm telling you, it is getting from bad to worse. And if you read some of the other comments of the public who are, I would say, happily at this time, they are waking up. They're taking a good long look again. I don't get. Yes, you have the diehards on both sides, obviously, but right now, look at the development that is taking place.
Yes.
It was quite a spirited turnout that turned up at Ward Theatre. That and we can criticize and say he should have done this and he should have done that. That party should have done that. But the point also is a fact that that party is a legitimate, registered political party in Jamaica that deserves and earns some rights because
you're talking about the UIC.
Yes, I was just diverging to
yes,
that.
I
to
realize
show that
you're talking about the UIC. Yes.
What the country is going through at this point in time. Normally, people would just and go about their own business, but I pick up a renewed interest. Let me put it that way, or a far more personal intervention now from people, and they are not being tribalistic. I mean, you always have the tribal phenomenon, don't you?
Yes, you do.
But I'm talking about people who are making sensible, balanced statements in their understanding and appreciation of what's happening, or lack of appreciation of what's happening in the world in this point in time.
Well, Dickie, and hold on, the thing, Dickie, and we're talking is 20 minutes to 11 o'clock here. It's 19 minutes to 11 o'clock here on the Bridge 99 FM 1 Jamaica. I'm Professor Donna Hope, and I'm talking with Richard Dickie Crawford, political analyst, about some of the things that are floating around, boiling, coalescing in the political ferment here in Jamaica. Third parties have never really historically gotten a grip here in Jamaica. But one of the things that does happen, because, Dickie, you look at the Constitution, it was written for two parties. Government and opposition. The word opposition, I tell my students constantly, I've mentioned it last night, is in capital letters. So when the gentleman went to England to copy the Westminster Whitehall model, they make sure write it in there, and they have been alternating until, of course, that kind of regular alternation kind of did buck. And the PNP sat down for 18 years. The GLP looks as if they are set to repeat that, because the People's National Party has not been able, and to come forward at a point in this time in our history when Jamaicans need to see something viable in opposition, that they can look and say, maybe I have an opportunity to do what little I can do. Because that is what people do with political parties. They're not so happy with this one. They feel like they can make a change by casting a ballot. They are not seeing that now. And the People's National Party, people, you have to come better than you're coming now. because the people of Jamaica need a viable opposition so they can see at least some opportunity to do elsewhere. The polls have shown us, Dickie, and let's talk a little bit about the poll, because the polls spoke about the rating of the government with the recent Donna Anderson poll that was done in August. And we are seeing that the last one that they did comparable to that was July 2020, about a year before. But the poll by the recent Donna Anderson poll showed fewer than 4 out of 10 Jamaicans believing that the government is doing a good job. Of course, we have to put it contextually in the climate we are in. COVID-19 a beat we bad. People are dead. People are unhappy. They're not sure about the vaccine. People lose them work. I know people have lost their homes because they lost their source of it. So people are struggling. People suffering. We're locked up in a box. We can't come out. We're afraid. We don't have no food. So it's a difficult time for people, and they see no hope. And the political leaders themselves have been trying to figure it out. It's like lava ground. So a lot of things are happening. Nonetheless, the kind of challenges that is going on now, the people are suggesting that they don't think that the government is doing a good job. Do you believe that the government can renew hope in the people of Jamaica? Do you think that political leaders can renew hope in the people of Jamaica? And let's talk around the polls very quickly.
Okay, all things are eventually or somewhere along the line possible. But I am not particularly ecstatic that our political parties are going to or wish to or will dedicate themselves to winning back the support of the public. And this is critical. We have lived so long that what we do, as you rightly say, Donna, an election is coming up, we get the resources, we buy the votes, we treat the people nicely at that time. And basically what has happened, I think, now is that facade has rubbed off.
Yes.
That's why Donna has picked up what he has picked up in the polls, you see? If you cast your mind a little bit back, basically people were speaking of the second coming through Andrew Holness, doing a fantastic job and so forth and so on. And he's still there, but the situation, the reality has come. Yes. And although he may have been doing some good things and he's articulate and he tries to explain that away, the inarticulate aspect of it or the facts of life out there, you're talking about the level of corruption in the government system. I mean, Pamela Monroe Ellis, boy, I don't know what to say about her. This is one fantastic woman because she's come under every kind of thing.
She's fearless.
But she does her job.
She's fearless. Yeah? She's fearless because let me tell you, and you're talking about
fearless,
for example,
a fantastic woman, but she is telling us what is wrong in this country.
And you know,
and they don't look as if they want to change it.
And you know, Dickie, the point you're making, because I'm glad you said political system, because this is something that has dogged our political system historically for too long. It's not about any party right now. People come into power and they go out of power, and you constantly have this trough that people are drawing from. So Pamela Monroe Ellis took close, and people are now up in arms. Some of them, because it depends on where you sit, and I see it on social media. The NPL issue, one set of people said, even if the lady only have 6 subjects, at least she was doing a good job. And I have students who have graduated from the University of the West Indies, Mona, with them good clean skin first degree and after all telemarketing work. I sit down and go in a computer so I can't get up for hours. And I'm saying people are not getting the understanding. We're talking about a political system that has structural deficiencies that have been abused historically for decades. And it is something that we are asking our political leaders to change. We need transformation. People are asking questions. You know why, Dickie? Because in the 21st century, when everybody have smartphone and social media and free Wi-Fi, somebody in it, right? And so people are no longer have to wait on a media house with a radio or TV or newspaper to remind them of what happened 50 years ago. Them go up on Google and juke in something, and Google tells you, Google give you pictures. So people have information that they can look at and compare and contrast. So political leaders, whether in government or opposition, remember Parliament is made up of the two sets, even though it's more unbalanced than it should be right now, have a duty of care. This is not 1970. This is not 1980. This is 2021. Everybody has access to bully information, and if you don't have it, then dash it out on Daydream and Pink Wall and all of these places and Twitter and them thing. When you see people go into the archives, Dickie, and drop a newspaper article, them all a voice note a show on these pages. People don't have to wait on a media house to edit and fix up for them to get things. The news bursts on social media. The first place when I see all the video with Floyd Green and the crew is on my phone. It come in a WhatsApp. 4 different times I got it. Boom, 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 boom. You don't have to wait and then the media houses can respond. So people are ahead of the curve and they are asking questions. You see, and this is a part of the challenge that the politicians are facing. Parliamentary leaders, government and opposition. This is a different world. And many of them are trying to balance. And so the polls have shown us, but you know what the polls have shown us, Dickie? That while the favorability ratings have gone down, the People's National Party has not picked up. They have not gotten any of the percentage points that have fallen off of the Jamaica Labour Party. So there is something happening. Because when you're reading polls, guys, just read what you read what the polls are saying about what. So if 10 points drop off of this person, did it fall onto the other? No, did not happen. The People's National Party are somewhat.
That's very interesting.
No, but that's why you have to read the polls, Remember, Dickie. So remember.
I know.
So therefore, there's a mass of people now. The apathetic mass is growing. People are saying
it's growing.
We're not in other something, and so that is why Patterson could get more people to go down the road, go bonfire and block road with them, Because there are people there.
Yes.
They're seeking an alternative.
In fact, the people switching parties are party big shots. The GLP will go and join the PNP, and the PNP will go and join the GLP. It's a significant point you are making here, because traditionally, and that has been the sickness of our country. Okay, if the GLP fail and I just vote for them, then me no worry, me no just go vote for the PNP next time.
Sweet.
That sentiment has been eroded, and you brought it out a while ago, classically. And another issue too, you talk about the media. Yes, another issue is that in Jamaica now, certainly I saw it, and wholly part of people saw it. I see where millions of people are protesting in Paris, in the city of Paris, against the conditions that exist in France.
Yes.
And a lady, Macron, comes to the forefront and comes to a barrier, and a lady take up her hand and box him. This is a different day. People see these things and say, but wait, why are we bowing down so much to politicians in Jamaica? Look at how them people operate. We saw the whole drama portrayed in the United States of America, the Trump issue, the madness that they call themselves a democracy. What's that?
Yeah, right, yes.
And then, so people are learning. Not only are they seeing the situation in Jamaica, Donna, they're also learning from abroad. It's a big thing. And politicians who believe that you can get up and just say, bad mind, why you don't like me, is that those days are over. The people are far beyond that. And just telling every listeners on this program, when you finish, just go on YouTube and scroll down and see the information on YouTube. It's not bogus information. It's there. It's real stuff. And that is what is happening right now in the country.
And
that's what's changing.
And Dickie, what that means is that political leaders, regardless of which party, because it's not about parties, about the people who are pushing themselves for political leadership, have to understand. Because we used to talk about this on campus, but this is now 2021. This is a different, we're talking about in the 90s. This is now 2021. This era of individuals of all ages, demographically, class, which all when them now have no work, with them each up in the garrison, somebody in a one corner, one bush listening to us right now. Everybody has a great, massive information flow that they can just put them finger and touch, right, so, and find information from all over the world at any point in time. This thing that people walking around with is not just a phone. It's a computer that is powerful. It is a research engine. It's a tool, and remember, it's a camera and cell phone and video phone, and it can record your voice and everything, all kind of things it do. And then it can transmit information at the speed almost of light. And people go viral like Michael Reed on a country. Big up yourself, Michael, anyway you're there. Professor Donna Hope, big you up, yes. So, what this does is that people are connecting with people. They're on it. You're there at Germany in a different time zone. Soon gone on your bed. People they want the other side of the world. I want next time zone at tomorrow morning. And we are drumming, and all of we are talk together at the same time. We're in the Zoom. People are coming at the Zoom from foreign. People coming. So so what it means, is that people are living in a different time. We call it temporal realities, time zone. Geographical, all when them not did them a war with them they are Black Lives Matter march and them never fly up on a plane yet. You know that kind of thing? So people's minds are being changed by the information, and the political leaders of today, let me tell you, politics of the 70s isn't going to work today. You have to change it. The man who refuses to exact. So if you refuse to change, like the man there, in Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, that man, you are going to be left behind. This is a period of time where the most rapid change, and the COVID-19, Dickie, has positioned. Me say it has accelerated the pace of change, and Lafayette is giving me the wrap-up signal. So we have to ask our political leaders to understand that the sleight of hand movement, like, you're going to tell people in your party, say, would this and do that. Listen to me, things leak and drop in the hands of the populace in a millisecond as you open your eye and blink so them get the information. Because you're in, you know what is happening, Licky? You're talking about leaks. You're in meetings, people in meetings, and you're sitting out here with a pretty little phone. And you just say, bloop, and you just see two something coming on WhatsApp. Them all have TAP people, them meeting and quietly voice note it and send it out. This is a different, this is a different world, Exactly. Yeah. Different world. Yeah. So our political leaders have to be agile. They have to be fit. They have to be like transformers. We watch the transform. You have to transform. You can transform. And you have to stand up on lava ground, and you have to can balance, because the people of Jamaica are out there balancing, and some of them are dead for younger right now. They're not in the foolishness with politicians. They don't want to hear about it. They want to hear what kind of hope you can put in the system for them. What kind of resources you can put to facilitate the lives that they're trying to live. Everybody wants to live the good life, whatever version there is of it. And how you are going to mitigate the leakage and the vampirism and the state structures that have continued for too long in this society. The sucking out of the lifeblood of the state structures to enrich individuals at the expense of the people of Jamaica. That's something that upset me every time I hear about it,
Yeah. Well, you have painted, you have just printed an agenda. Yes. And if you're not willing to follow that agenda, you're not going anywhere. I'm telling you.
Yes.
This is a situation, and it's going to get, what should I say? It's going to get more explosive, maybe, I don't know, but it's gonna develop, and it is developing more significantly. Another thing, Donna, you might have seen, which I find very interesting. Yes. I see a lot of 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds commenting and participating and having their say about their country. Normally, it's only when you reach 18, 19 at minimum, and 20-something that you have those words to say or views to have. 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and that is not only in this country, it's elsewhere. So, the young people who have the linkage to are falling with each other and linking with each other and developing with each other. Yes. So don't bother go in the bathroom and shower and cover up and tell me about bad mind. That is rubbish. And the other thing is this, that what I know we have here, based on this confusion, this Ripley's Believe It or Not story, it is not anyway going to end until it is 100% investigated and published and people are satisfied.
And that's a good note. And feel that the entire process has been taken, as you're rightly saying, Dickie, to a complete and final end. People are going to wait on that. Yes.
And believability.
Yes. Thank you so much. We have to end it there, Dickie Crawford. You have to come back. Make sure Dickie come back. We have a lot to talk about, Dickie. But thank you for sharing with us here. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much. And of course, thanking Dickie Crawford for sharing with us here on One Jamaica on the Bridge 99 FM, talking about many things, because the political ferment is quite exciting right now. A lot of things are happening, and let me tell you guys, the clamor for the clamor for the eyes and ears of the people of Jamaica, the optics. The optics game is a wonderful game. Remember, Dickie is saying people have access to information, and people know as 12 and 13. We'd always have a lot of things to say as 12 and 13-year-olds now, but we never had the opportunities to expose it out there. Now we have smartphone children there because people become interested in the lives around them once they turn teenagers, especially, and and the hormones start to run up and down. Welcome back. One Jamaica Bridge 99 FM. It's 3 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock here in Kingston, Jamaica. And of course, we're streaming live, www.thebridge99fm.com. And of course, our Zoomers are coming in. Big up everyone in the Zoom. And of course, we are going to go into our second interview for today, our Culture Matters discussion. We're talking with the CEO and founder of Jamaicans Abroad, Helping Jamaicans at Home, the Jaja Foundation. So the acronym is Jaja. And of course, Dr. Trevor Dixon. And as Dr. Dixon is joining us, is he joining us by Zoom? He's joining us by Zoom. And so I want to welcome Dr. Dixon to One Jamaica, to the Bridge 99 FM. Dr. Dixon, welcome to the program. Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Hope. Can you hear me?
I am hearing you and I'm seeing you. Good to see you. Looking bright and chirpy. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And let me just tell people a little bit about, what you have been doing. You're not only the CEO of Jaja, but also full-time director of emergency ultrasound at Jacobi Medical Center in the city of New York. And you have been bringing together you're in Bronx, yes, in the city of New York, in Bronx, you're in Bronx. And you have been bringing together and leading various professionals from New York and New Jersey to come to Jamaica voluntarily to conduct annual emergency ultrasound symposium for doctors from various public hospitals across the island. And through your leadership, the initiative has blossomed into medical missions that involve over 30 volunteers from the United States. And we are told that you were born in Christiana and migrated to the U.S. at age 10. And your words of your late mother, Nurse Hazel B. Dixon, said, and we have to big up your mother, these are seriously powerful words. Instead of complaining about the problem, do something critical and very important. So always desiring to help the country of your birth, you got involved. And I am hoping to encourage others, and these are your words, to get involved and to give, especially to the public hospitals that have a high volume of patients and are very under-resourced. And this is something that people have been speaking about recently with the COVID-19. Dr. Dixon, welcome again to Bridge 99 FM to One Jamaica. And let's talk a little bit about what is happening, because you are now in Jamaica on a medical mission. Are you?
I'm not there yet. No.
Oh, you're coming.
Shortly.
So the medical mission that you're coming on, we know it's not the first. But you're coming in the midst of a global pandemic. Why was it imperative to come during that you're planning to come during the pandemic? A lot of people are not traveling.
Well, everyone can really do things when it's comfortable for them.
Yes.
But I think it takes more of an individual to do things that it makes you uncomfortable and step out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And, why are we, it's almost like suicide, right? Why would you go into a pandemic when people are trying to get out of a pandemic? Why would you go into a pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
I think the best answer is, I know why I became a physician. I grew up in Christiana, Manchester.
Yes.
And I migrated to East Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of injustice and a lot of injustices, in particular in the healthcare industry and everything else. Everything is intertwined. The violence, the lack of opportunities for some,
yes,
leads to crime and other things. And I know I'm fortunate to have made it out, because I know a lot of my friends weren't so fortunate to make it out. So I don't forget. And I know, as I travel this journey, I said to God, boy, God, you really gonna make me a doctor? And he said, yes, I'm gonna make you a doctor, And he said, don't forget. But don't forget, when you become a doctor, why are you becoming a doctor? So I always try to stay true to that,
Yes.
So I go into uncomfortable situation, because I say, if not me, then who?
Yes.
And I think I say that to all the doctors that are out there who are sitting on the sidelines, and you make your money, you drive a big fancy car, and we know Dr. Hope, a lot of them come from very humble upbringing,
A lot of us have come from very straight in the circle with chicken back gravy. That is the
yeah,
reality. Struggle and
and then you said to
poverty and
yourself,
hunger. Yes.
and you said to yourself, why these doctors behave as if we don't know where them come from, and we know when the boy when them don't have this and them go on the most way. They want to come check you when them want to show them Range Rover and whatever else that they have acquired, them new toys, the new machinery. But that's the only time you see them. Otherwise, you don't see them. So, I say to those doctors, search yourself and see, what's in your heart. Because when the judgment day comes, and God asks you, what have you done with your life, Nobody show them the Range Rover. And don't tell them how you put your kids through school, because that's what's expected of you.
Indeed.
What else have you done? Yeah, what else have you done for mankind or for humanity?
And for humanity, indeed. So you're sharing and working to assist and benefit the less fortunate, because, of course, you understand the realities on the ground and you feel moved to ensure that you give back in a lot of ways to the people of Jamaica from whence you came. Tell us about this, the focus of the medical mission, this COVID-19, I'm calling it, the COVID-19 medical mission, Dr. Dixon. Tell us a little bit about the focus of it and how long the volunteers will be serving here in Jamaica. What's going to be the focus?
Well, this COVID-19 medical mission came out of news in Jamaica that there were a lot of healthcare workers in the Savlamar area who were overwhelmed, distressed, and emotionally and physically tired.
Yes.
They were seeing a lot of deaths, and they didn't know how to deal. They didn't know how to prepare for it, and I'm sure there was very little equipped to help them deal with it. So I says, is there anything that we can do? And I spoke to my friends in the diaspora. Erwin Clear is one of those guys I always talk to, and he always encouraged me, and he always helps give me some kind of a vision of how to move.
Big up my brother Erwin Clear. Big up, yeah, man. Always, yes, wonderful person.
Yeah, man. So them, and also another gentleman here in New York, a guy named Ross Clem. They always pose the questions to me, and I say to myself, what can I do? And I had to sit down and all you have to do is just ask yourself a question. And God said, you know what? You're gonna go to Jamaica. You're gonna form a medical mission, and you're gonna go to Jamaica. And we approached the Jamaica government, the leadership there in the Ministry of Health, and they said, really? And then they said, let's go back to the drawing board. We could certainly use your help. So let's go back and see how we can facilitate this. And then the rest, this is history. But I realized that this is not a Jada Foundation. This wasn't a Jada Foundation medical mission. I knew it would take all of us, all hands on deck approach to see how we can make this happen. So then I went to the Jamaica representative for the Northeast. Her name is Dr. Karen Dunkley.
Yes.
And she's from St. Catherine, in Spanish Town area. She's a mover and a shaker, and she's afraid of nothing. You understand me? So she kind of went, with her resources, she reached out to people who she thought would help to make this happen. And she's been very instrumental in speaking, connecting the dots with everyone. Yes. And here we are now. We involve a lot of organization from not just the Northeast, but also the Southeast and Midwest, which are different regions here. And we try to pool as many people who are willing to go down. And the funny thing is that it's not just Jamaicans that are going on. We have a lot of non-Jamaicans that's going on.
So you're telling us a little bit about the connections that you have made for this mission. I know that, for example, Consul General of Jamaica to New York and other areas, because Alcian Wilson's reach is not just New York, but several other states, that she's also connected to this. And she's a St. Catherine woman as well. You have to bring it in. I'm just telling you. Yes, Dr. Donkey, but also Consul Wilson is also, Alcian Wilson is also a Jamaican. So that the partnership is with the bodies as well as the Ministry of Health for this group coming in.
Yes, the Consul General has been very instrumental in kind of paving the way and knocking on those doors. She knows what to do more than I do. So she's doing her thing, and everybody's doing their part. All it's like I said, it's all hands on deck.
Yes.
So that if even you folks in Jamaica, if you know anybody who is a nurse or a doctor up here, force them. So listen to me. What you guys not coming on this medical mission? We need more help. We need a lot more help to help those doctors and nurses out there who need our help.
And so you're having a range of professionals, the health professionals that are volunteering on this mission. And you haven't told us how long they're staying. How long are they staying for this trip?
7 days, only 7 days after their
7 days, okay. So they're giving a week. So they include physicians, nurses, respiratory therapists, and
Right.
what are the areas in Jamaica that will be served by these volunteers? Where will they be
We're
deployed?
going to we're focusing on Westmoreland.
On Westmoreland.
Westmoreland. We're focusing
Mm-hmm.
on Westmoreland.
Why?
The lodging, the corporate sector in the Westmoreland area has stepped up big time to provide lodging and all those things. So it's not just us coming. We need the partners in Jamaica to say we will step up. Otherwise, it can't be a one-sided love affair. You understand?
So the
so
balancing from this end as well to ensure that the other resources are provided. So it's a
Absolutely.
full philanthropic enterprise in a lot of ways.
Yes, I mean,
Yes.
for instance, if you want to go, why not Spanish Town?
Yes.
Well, the corporate section in Spanish Town, the Chamber of Commerce in the Spanish Town area, they have to reach out and say, yes, we can find accommodations for them. But Westmoreland and Negril and Sablamar stepped up big time and says, we'll find some place to put these volunteers who volunteer their time, services, risking their life through COVID to come down and help the healthcare workers in this area. So it's a marriage. It's more than one piece, and it's not just us coming down there. We have to be received too. People think we're not bringing any medication, so they don't have to worry about us forcing medications on them that they don't want. It's about working with the doctors shoulder and shoulder and providing healthcare to our people, the Jamaican people.
To the Jamaican people. And people just answering on WhatsApp, it's not coming to Kingston. Come and get everything. It's not Kingston, and it's really Kingston and St. Andrew. Everything come here. Like we saw Kingston centric. We need the outer layers of Jamaica very much contiguous to the rest of us to also get some of the the attention. So your association, Jamaicans Abroad Helping Jamaicans at Home, JAJA, I love the acronym, has been involved in missions for quite some time in healthcare. So you kind of give us a little idea of some of the the how the philanthropy works, where you something it's matched. But are you funded specifically? How do you get funding to continue the projects? Is it that you self-fund? What is it?
Once again, Mr. Clare taught me how to fundraise. So
Erwin has too many skills, So Erwin taught you how to fundraise.
He's my big brother. He's guided me through this whole process for many years now.
Yes.
So basically what happened is that we keep fundraisers here. And the main two fundraisers we keep is a boat ride.
I know you're going to say the boat ride, I know you're going to say that wicked boat. The boat ride. Which one of the boat ride is yours? Tell us the boat ride.
The Jaja Foundation boat ride. I mean, ask anyone about it. I mean, you can go on the Jaja Foundation Facebook page, Jaja Foundation, and you can see the boat ride. You can see for yourself. I don't want to talk about it, but
Yes. Yes.
So we mentioned the boat ride that's usually held in the summertime,
yes.
And we have the gala that's usually held in November. But because of the whole COVID situation and the indoor, we still don't think we're out the woods completely with COVID yet. So we're going to cancel the gala for this year. Okay. But the boat ride was a real big success that allowed us to be able to come to Jamaica. So those of you who supported the boat ride in whatever shape or form, thank you. Because it enabled us to come to Jamaica now and provide this great care for the folks of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. And I think someone is saying there's a feedback. Denton, is the feedback gone now? Because it seems to have gone from our end. So we hope the feedback for the Zoomers has been removed. So you have two events that help to fund Jaja, and they are
that's basically it. Yeah.
Yes, and supported by Jamaicans and others.
Right, definitely others.
Yes. Lafayette, please, the other computer is still on? Yes, all right. So I think we have turned off the other computer. We changed computers. All right. So then in a lot of ways, why is it important that Jamaicans abroad help Jamaicans at home and vice versa? Because the name of the association, so there's a kind of connection. Why is it important for people to continue to help each other abroad and at home? Tell us about that.
I'll tell you something. The Jamaica's Pledge, if you read Jamaica's Pledge, I take it extremely serious.
Yes.
I left Jamaica when I was 10, 11 years old, but the pledge was ingrained in me, And I don't forget what the pledge means. I understand that everyone don't take it serious, but there are many of us who take our pledge very serious in the diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
We consider ourselves Jamaicans, and we fight for Jamaica every day.
Yes.
Whether through charity or through giving back or through saying a kind word or defending when people speak negatively of their experiences in Jamaica. We try to let them know that none of the Jamaican is like that, or when they have a very positive feeling, we try to reinforce that. So we're Jamaicans, although we don't live on the island as much as we'd like to, we consider ourselves very much Jamaican, and even worse than that, the people up here consider us very much to be Jamaican. So that's great.
And Dr. Dixon, someone in the Zoom is sending you a message. Hello, Dr. Dixon. This is Denton, Dr. Bachelor's cousin from New York. So he's in the Zoom with you. Dr.
Hi, Denton. Yes.
Yes, from NYC in New York. So Denton is in. So New York is in the house and visiting as a part of the discussion. Good to have you, Denton. And of course, continuing the discussion and the work. And so what are some of the initiatives that you have in the pipeline for the Jaja Foundation? Yes.
Just before I go into that, I just want the Denton and everybody to know we need more volunteers going down. We need a lot more nurses. Don't be afraid. COVID is alive, but we can fight it. And if you protect yourself, you can go down there and make a difference. So we need more doctors and nurses to come down and help these folks in Sablamar. And the weather will be nice anyway.
And the weather will be nice. And Denton is reminding us that, yes, he's my Facebook friend and part of the Dental crew. In a lot of ways, big up yourself, Denton, and the Dental crew. And my brother went to Dental. My sister-in-law went to Dental. I have a lot of family, aunts and uncles who went to Dental. I'm from St. Catherine, so I'm from Linstead. So Dental is in Linstead. So, yeah, big up all the Dental crew. And when alumni roll out, Dental crew needs to come on Friday and talk about Alumni Association and all the stuff that happens there. We had the Alumni Association head here with us earlier in August. So we have talked about that. But, come and tell us more about Dental guys this on Friday. But so in a lot of ways, then, Dr. Dixon, the Jaja Foundation continues to work on behalf of the people of Jamaica and to share with Jamaicans at home and abroad and to really, in a lot of ways, be a beacon of hope, bringing together the skills. So you're calling us. So where do they find you? Where do they locate you on the internet? How do people connect with you? Where are you on the internet, social media?
Jaja Foundation. If you type in JAH Foundation.org, you'll see all the work we've been doing. Some people can tell you what am I do. Well, just go on the website. We have everything videotape.
Yes.
Go on Facebook. You type in JAH Foundation. You see the fundraisers we keep. If you're more like a fundraiser kind of person, you see the medical missions that we go on in Jamaica. We go into Uptown Mondays. And we do HIV testing in the dance hall.
You come and do Uptown HIV testing in dance. It's because they don't want to come to Uptown Mondays. Tell me
big
that.
Up Father Witty.
Big up Daddy Witty, big up the crew, man. Yes, and COVID have you on that thing. I'm seeing you on Facebook, so I'm liking your page, right? So Jaja,
right, and so we do Uptown Mondays. Our program actually started at the Kingston Public Hospital. Okay, yes. KPH.
Yes.
KPH is very dear to our heart. We go there every year. We do an ultrasound conference, and that conference includes all the doctors in the public hospital across the island. They come there and they and the nuts for a court. And we teach them, the latest in ultrasound, and we share ideas and we collaborate.
Yes.
Last year, we actually had a virtual ultrasound conference with the University of the West Indies, KPH, and all over the world. We had people from checking in to the ultrasound conference. So we keep it going through fundraising. So when you see the Jaja Foundation keeping a fundraiser, please come and attend and tell your friends. As they say in Jamaica, tell a friend, tell a foe.
So I'm looking at your Facebook page, and you're calling for volunteers. I saw the September 11th. I'm calling for volunteers for 7 to 10 days rotation in Jamaica. So you're rotating them. So they come and they do rotation and of course assist in a lot of ways with the healthcare. So yes, I'm looking at your page on Facebook. I just liked it. Mission for Change 2020. I've been doing a lot of work. Yeah, and it's good to curate the information that way and put it on social media so people can see what you're doing and have an understanding and an idea of how you intend to and have already been assisting here Jamaicans at home and the connections being made with the diaspora, our brothers and sisters. New York, and the New York tri-state area is a very richly populated area, Caribbean population area. So we know that area is full of people.
Absolutely.
Yes, a lot of Jamaicans. So we want to thank you, Dr. Dixon, for coming and sharing with us. We know that you wanted to come at 11 o'clock to sort of do other things. And you're an hour ahead of us, I think. So far, you're still an hour ahead of us in time. So thank you so much for sharing with us. And, of course, continue doing the good work with the Jaja Foundation. And, of course, continue keeping safe and healthy because COVID is all over the place. Keep safe and healthy.